Hey, before we really do get the episode going, I want to take the opportunity to talk about something a little serious here. It involves a death of a family friend. If this is something that you're not comfortable with or it's a little too heavy for you, I will leave a timestamp right here so you know where to jump to get to the wonderful animated intro as done by Fasado. I need your guys' help with something. Recently, a family friend of ours, her name was Laura Miller, she recently passed away. She was someone that I knew for at least a good 20 years, I think, or more. Like we've known her for years. I've been good friends with some of her daughters and such, and it saddens me that she is no longer on the mortal coil. Unfortunately, when she passed away, she didn't have any insurance or any savings, so the family has been stuck with the cost when it comes to cremation and stuff. So in the description below, there is a GoFundMe that one of the daughters has set up in order to help pay for the funds. They're trying to get $3,000 by the time the Day of Remembrance is going to be, which is in June. If you guys have the ability to donate, that would be incredible. If not, please spread the word. We're trying to raise this money so that we can give Laura the proper send-off that she so rightfully deserves. She was a fantastic person. She was a lovely person to be around, and she will dearly be missed. And I sincerely hope you guys can find it in your heart, whether it be financially or using your platforms to help get the word out there. I sincerely hope we can make it easier on the family to lay her to rest and move on with life at the end of the day. So again, if you are able to, please go into the description below, check out the GoFundMe, donate if you can. Again, if you can't, please spread the word. Thank you so much. And now on to the Postmodern Art Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and welcome back once again to Amateur April, the wonderful time of year where I find artists of smaller followings and present them to you guys, thinking that you guys need to follow them today. And if there was ever a wrestling guest that I brought on this podcast that I want you guys to take a chance on, well, I found the safest bet in the business. Today's guest is Chance Oakley, a wrestler who is just getting his first opportunities to showcase himself into the wrestling world while also trying to find a way to bring his connections to Annie Oakley into the squared circle. Chance is someone that I got a chance to discover thanks to another former guest that I had on the podcast, just seeing kind of the followers that they have, and honestly seeing the incredible way that Chance has already been able to project himself even with such limited ring experience. I felt like it was the prime time, especially for Amateur April, to bring him on the podcast and really let him show the world what he's potentially capable of. I sincerely hope you see that with today's episode. If you enjoy our guests, please make sure you support him with the links down in the description below. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know I see that stuff. You know it genuinely makes my day. If you want to go a little further with that support, though, may I recommend you check out the merch shop on fourthwall.com. We have an outstanding selection with some incredible streetwear as done by some of the fantastic artists that have come and gone through this podcast. And I personally think you would look fantastic in the sensational streetwear we have for you today. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. How you doing today, bud?
I'm good, man. I got to go do cardio this morning, work on some stuff in the open gym, and I'm feeling ready to move, ready to go.
Hell yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to sit down and talk for at least an hour or so. Otherwise,
it happens. No, hey, look, this is the other half of the gig, right? It can't just be working out and practicing all the time.
Exactly. You gotta showcase what it's all for more than anything else.
Exactly. Yeah, no, first and foremost, man, thank you for the opportunity to come on here and speak. It's
Oh,
fantastic.
oh no, absolutely. See, the thing is, I made sure to specifically get you for what this is going to be upcoming for or whatnot. So I'm doing this. This is going to be released like middle of April or whatnot, because April,
Okay.
I like to set it up as a theme month known as Amateur April, where I give artists that have a more smaller following. I try to give them more of a spotlight. Try to be like, hey, these guys are like putting in good work and such. Like, get to chance to see them and watch them potentially grow because they got some cool stuff going on or whatnot. I also wanted
Dude,
to
it's
make
much appreciated.
Oh no, absolutely. I also wanted to make sure that with your episode, I'm gonna be dropping it like the Thursday before WrestleMania weekend. So I thought it'd be very fitting to like get small name wrestler or whatnot onto the podcast to highlight them, especially when the biggest weekend of wrestling is coming up.
Right. No, dude, that's awesome. It's
Mhm.
yeah, like I said, it's especially with it being my rookie year and all, it's a freaking honor to be here.
Yeah, the fact that it is your rookie year and you're only like scratching the surface of what you could potentially do, like, because I just love like the aesthetic and the vibe you had like right off the bat. That's why I wanted to bring you on more than anything else, because I figured like there, yeah, especially with the thing that you're leaning towards, especially nowadays or whatnot. Like I feel like you got a really good story that you want to tell. You just want the opportunity to tell it to the world. Well, hopefully this is step one of telling that story.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and it's like I said, it's all just making the most of these opportunities when they come.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and a big part of it has been like I just got to debut at SOS, which I think is like probably close to like second or third biggest show in Washington.
Oh wow.
With my tag partner Grayson, we do the Island Crab gimmick. So it's a ton of fun. No, dude, we have a whole like backlog of modified moves that have sea themed twists. And
Okay.
so if anyone's out in Washington, come to SOS and check us out. It's a great time.
It's a good thing that
Uh,
it's a good thing I've already started recording, because I can include this as part of like the thing leading into the actual podcast itself.
oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad everything's going to be coming out around the time that you said, because like middle of April is perfect. That's going to be I got super lucky. It's my second month, and I ended up getting booked. I think at least three, but possibly four times. If
Oh,
the Island Crabs have something, we'll be doing SOS that Friday. Saturday, Grit City is doing a student show at the same venue as SOS,
there
so
you
it's
go.
a free show. And then Sunday we have the Dragonplex student show in Everett and CPW out in Shoreline. So it's going to be a big, big weekend, especially with this coming out too.
I was gonna say, yeah, not like you've got your weekend like fully booked more than anything else, and that's good to
Oh
hear.
yeah.
Especially if this is like the career you really want to go down. Like, what better way to make sure you hit the ground running, right?
Oh, well, dude, that was one of the things is very beginning last December, not the December before last 2025 when I'd like first started.
Mm-hmm.
Uh I remember telling my girlfriend, because she'd gone with me and she stayed in the car. I went into the alleyway and it was this like little garage in the back of a barber shop in Tacoma, Washington,
Okay.
and it was like the most indie wrestling thing ever. And
Hell
I just
yeah.
took this deep breath and I was like, this is my home. Like
I,
this
I
is
am where
this
I
is
need to
where I'm
be.
supposed to be. Yep.
Oh, trust me, I get that vibe every single time. There's a show that I go to. So for context, I'm on the East Coast. All right, so I different coasts
Okay.
in general. I'm based around Georgia, and so like the promotion that's like the one I frequently go to is called Classic City Wrestling. It's in this like little dive bar that's in downtown Athens, Georgia. It's a
Oh
major
yeah.
it's a major venue. If you know, like for example, like REM got their start there and such. Like there's a lot of big
Oh
bands that
no way.
yeah, a lot of big bands and such have like come and gone through that bar. So like it's a little dive bar, but also like it's probably one of the most significant historical places in Athens, just in general. But our the local promotion there, just they run their shows there along with a few other places. Every single time I get to go to watch one of their shows or whatnot, I just feel at home more than anything else, surrounded by a bunch of drunk people cheering at the action that's going on in the middle of the ring or whatnot. Like I can understand where you're coming from, that whole entire mentality of like being in this little indie garage in the middle of nowhere and being like, I am home.
Right. Well, and indie crowds are so much more fun, I feel like, too, because
Yes.
so the way that I initially got into this wrestling wise was I'd taken my girlfriend when SmackDown had come to Seattle.
Okay.
We went to see, and she absolutely fell in love with it,
Nice.
to the point where she then took me to see Raw. So we were actually at the episode in Everett when New Day broke up, and that's when I think she realized
No.
how. Oh, dude, no, that's when I think she realized like how into it I was, because we're sitting there and I'm like, she's never seen me like cry like this, and I'm like almost on my knees. I'm like,
Oh.
guys, it's been 10 years. You got together here. You can't do this to me, you
Right.
know?
Like of all the places, of all
Uh,
the times, like come on, man.
oh, broke my heart. But yeah, no, so she realized how like how into it I think I really am. And then about a week after that, I'd looked up if there were any like schools nearby or like how to get into it, and it
Right.
just turned out up the road there was, Grit City Wrestling Academy. Uh, so I gotta do a quick shout out to my coaches, Pitfall, Ethan HD, and Johnny Flynn. Wonderful group of guys. If anyone is in the area and you're looking to train, we do intakes every like 3 months.
There you go.
It is such a caring group of people. If not, look up your local school, because there might be one 20-30 minutes away.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, I'm gonna make sure to leave this part in because if nothing else, I want people to hear that shouts. But we'll definitely talk a lot more about like Grit City and all the stuff that comes with that more than anything else, because I can tell that there's a
Of
lot you want to
course.
talk about with that. But let's actually get to the actual conversation itself, shall we? Before we go too long down
Let's
this
do
path.
it. Let's do it.
All right, Chance. Before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a desert island on your own accord. So it's just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to really enjoy yourself for a little bit with accommodation. I shouldn't say desert island, more like a personal B&B paradise away from society for a little bit. To make sure you don't go completely insane on this island, you can bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace you want on this island. If given this opportunity, what would that one piece be?
Um, I really because you said One Piece and it's all behind me, I would have to bring a couple issues of the One Piece manga, just because it might be, in my opinion, the best story of all time.
I mean, honestly,
Uh,
I don't blame you. I mean, I kind of got a hint at it just looking at your wall, but just because what you have on your wall doesn't guarantee that's the number one thing you want to bring with you. So, but why is that like the first thing that comes to your mind with like things that could help you with whatever headspace you want?
I take a lot of my inspiration for myself in wrestling and my move set from anime.
Okay.
Most importantly, Sanji and Rock Lee.
Okay.
Uh, I love throwing kicks. I've always loved throwing kicks. It's when Patrick said kicking, I want to do some kicking. I like felt that in my soul.
Kicking.
Uh,
Oh, I want to do some kicking.
exactly. So yeah, no, it's Sanji is like I'm a chef outside of wrestling,
Okay.
and I mean I'm always in the gym practicing my kicks and how I can integrate that into my move set as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be probably the reason, is because not only can I read and take inspiration for wrestling, but it's also such a big inspiration for my attitude moving forward in life, and just pushing through hard times.
Honestly, that's really incredible to hear just in general. I love, first off, thank you for allowing me an opportunity to pull up my Patrick impression. I just love doing that whenever I can. but
Of
also,
course.
but also like, yeah, no, trust me, I get it. Like it's incredible, especially when you talk to people in the wrestling world, how much of people get inspirations outside of wrestling. So I think a lot of people, they instantly assume, oh yeah, you're a fan of wrestling. Well, clearly you got your inspiration from like Roddy Piper or Hulk Hogan or whoever from 50 years ago, which is not the case. But also like you'd be surprised how many people get it from, again, anime, movies, TV shows, like their inspiration for how they want to portray themselves even in the first place. So
Well, and that's one of the cool things with wrestling, is there's a lot of like without, like you were saying, like the Hogans and the Rowdy Pipers and all of them. There's no, like those guys are the foundation. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like without them, I wouldn't know how to tell a story. But because of the work that they've done, I can take my favorite stories and translate them to wrestling.
exactly. Exactly. No, it's a good mentality to have. But regardless, a good couple issues of One Piece. That is your answer. You're locking that in.
For sure.
Then if that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You will look fantastic with the merch that we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at PostModArtPod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. Hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada, he is the striking son of fabulous Las Vegas, the cowboy Casanova your girlfriend sings about in the shower, the man determined to bring the Oakley dynasty into the squared circle. Welcome to the podcast, Chance Oakley.
Thank you. That was a hell of an intro.
Thank you. Hey, look, again, as someone that's a fan of wrestling, I want to make sure that like I give the proper intro, like this is your entrance coming out on Dynamite or Raw or SmackDown, you know, whatever you're coming out. Like this is the exact thing I want people to hear.
No, that got me hyped. I'm ready for a match now. Who am I fighting?
Well, your match is going to be against the wonderful Nathan Ragland as a host, as in the match is going to be a conversation. Anyways.
All right.
Now, how you doing today, Chance?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing really good. Living well. Like I said, I told you before we got too into this, I did cardio this morning at the gym. So heart's pumping. I'm feeling alive.
Well, I'm glad you got that heart pumping more than anything else, because I can certainly tell that you have a lot of love and excitement for what you do. That's one of the major reasons why I wanted to bring you here, especially for, again, Amateur April, because like I mentioned before, I wanted to give smaller artists the opportunity to really showcase what they've got. And for you, like I was, the way I found you, I didn't even mention this part. The way I found you is I went to one of my previous guests I found on the podcast, Noah Vale. And I went to the people that they were following or whatnot. You were part of that list, and like just
really?
On their Instagram, I should say. And so like I was just looking through and like I saw your stuff. I love the aesthetic. I love the vibe that you got more than anything else. And I could tell that like, especially for the small following you have for right now or whatnot, you're ready to just get the opportunity to step up and tell an incredible story with some of the unique details that you've already developed for yourself. And I cannot wait to delve into that and then some. But before we talk about the stuff you're doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of Chance. What got you interested in art and wrestling and stuff in the first place?
Well, okay, I should say that I've always loved like art, but I can't draw. I could not draw to save my life.
That's fair.
Traditional art was never my thing. Growing up, I really loved doing jiu-jitsu with my friends, wrestling. Okay. I got into Muay Thai, a lot of striking stuff out in Vegas.
Okay.
I actually got to train out there at Syndicate, so I've trained under Vinny Magalhaes and Chris Curtis as jiu-jitsu and striking coaches.
Oh, nice.
Some fantastic guys, and I think that you'll see that a lot in my in-ring style. I've been working on how to take what I've learned there and translate it to wrestling, because it is tricky, you know.
Right. Oh no, trust me. It's one thing to kind of see the action. It's another thing for you to translate it and also find a way to incorporate it to where it looks natural in the ring instead of like some sort of clunky experience or clunky couple of moves that a person could randomly put in like 2K or whatnot, you know?
Exactly. Right. I don't want to be the created fighter. I want to be Chance Oakley.
You want to be Chance Oakley more than anything else.
Right.
I love how, like, again, you start off by saying, obviously, there's that love for art in the first place, just in general. I mean, I kind of got that vibe, again, looking at your wall and seeing the wealth of anime influence, given what we talked about also as well. I'm curious, what was some of the art outside of wrestling that you truly loved and were exposed to and, like, took with you as you gone down, like, this creative path?
Definitely music.
Okay.
I was a choir kid growing up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can't help but sing in the shower, stuff like that. It's I know, actually, looking through some of your stuff on TikTok, I saw you'd interviewed Will Wood before.
Yes.
I've been on record as saying that he is probably my favorite musician of all time.
Oh, I am so glad to hear that more than anything else, because I mean, you say you found it like through TikTok or whatnot. Believe it or not, I've had him on this podcast 3 times. All right, so yeah.
I thought it was only twice. Okay.
No, that was 3 times. There's a third
Okay.
one. There's the initial one that was episode 35. There was a second time, which was episode, I think, 85, and then there's the most recent one, which I cannot remember the episode number to save my life.
Oh no. Yeah, no, but that's I mean, he's been a huge inspiration. I've definitely there's been a few songs off of one of his more recent albums that I've looked at using sorry, I keep saying
No, you're good. You're more than you are perfectly fine. I imagine you're trying to say that there's a couple of songs probably from some of his more recent albums that you're thinking about potentially using as like entrance musics or whatnot.
stuff like that. When I, like if there's a potential heel run at certain places in the future,
Okay.
main character is one of my favorite songs of all
Oh,
time.
that it's easy. That is probably one of the easiest songs to look to and be like, that is a wrestling theme if there's ever one, especially for heel wrestling theme or whatnot. Like that easy.
Yeah. It'd be so easy for everyone to boo me all the time if I just came out to that, right?
I'm the main character and you have to like me.
Exactly. Don't give them a choice. Just make them love you.
Exactly. No, that's understandable. I love how that love for music is also like a very early influence. And I mean, clearly seeing the connection that music does have with wrestling. Yeah, I can see how that kind of blends into it as well. And I assume, given what we'd also talked about previously, some of the more visual art that you're a huge fan of or whatnot kind of leads into how you kind of present yourself, especially nowadays. Again, looking at your back wall, anime. What is it about anime that just like captures your attention and love and something that you again wanted to like translate into your own form of action?
I think I love anime for the same reason that I love pro wrestling, and that's
Okay.
story through combat. Like it's a real art form to be able to have, because I mean, like there's so many shows or like anime specifically where they'll have, like the fights are there, but they're there for spectacle. I feel like in One Piece, Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen,
There you go.
I feel like those ones are ones that really have the fights progress the story.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that's something that I find really beautiful about pro wrestling as well, is that, it's all storyline through fighting. Promos are a small part of it, but especially sorry,
You're good.
especially on the indies, you have very little promo time, very little microphone time. It takes a lot for a promoter to trust you to take time out of their show to just talk. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you really have to perfect that art of combat is the story.
Absolutely. Like, it's easy to see what you're talking about, especially on an indie premise, because it's not like one of the big name television shows to where it's very easy between like matches or whatnot to cut to a backstage segment and have them like cut a promo setting up like whatever match is happening like down the line or whatnot. A lot of people when they go to like the indie shows, like they're there to see the action that's there that night. They're not anticipating like whenever the next show is going to be like, like 6 weeks from now or whatnot. I mean, I'm sure some people do,
Exactly.
but like the fact that promo time is not as prevalent as other, again, bigger name productions or whatnot. Yeah, I can understand why the story through action or whatnot is a good mentality to have when it comes to like wrestling at the end of the day.
Yeah, it really helps take it to another level. That's why I feel like, there's like you were talking about how you have to pull inspiration from Roddy Piper, from Hulk Hogan, from all the guys that got us to where we are, but to really take a move and make it your own, because everybody does a shoulder tackle.
Yeah,
But if
exactly.
you can tweak it and make it yours, it doesn't matter where you pulled that inspiration from, whether it's Mary Poppins or Naruto. The idea is that it's yours now, and you have something that you've added to the business, to the sport.
I now have on my list Mary Poppins doing a shoulder tackle as something I want to see in my life. So I'm curious as well, obviously seeing how much of a love you kind of have for just media and art in general, but especially when it comes to wrestling, seeing how much that really meant to you. I feel like we got a taste of it with, our conversations before we got started or whatnot. But when did it for you go from just like something that you loved and admired to a passion and wanting to make it your career, like the thing that you want to dedicate yourself to?
Uh, I think it was after, and this is going to be, my coaches are going to hate this answer. I think it was after I got my first concussion.
Oh, lovely.
Right. Well, and I've only had two in the time that I've been training, and both of them were me being in a silly spot and taking things in a silly way.
Okay.
But it was different because I realized in the like 2 weeks that I couldn't train, I was shaking, like I was almost having physical withdrawal symptoms. It was like I was missing a piece of myself, not being able to go train, to go do this, to get ready to do shows.
Mm-hmm. No, I can understand that kind of like, I guess, hunger at the end of the day of like you've already had one foot in the pool when it comes to what could potentially happen, and like, you want to make sure that you can get back in there, obviously in a safe manner, to make sure you don't potentially get concussions or even worse injuries off or whatnot. People out there, there's a reason why people are, you see, you know wrestling programs being like, don't try this at home. At least if you're going to do it, try to be safe about it. But also accidents happen. Things happen at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, regardless, like it's good to hear that at the end of the day, knowing what it's like to be without gives you more of a hunger to have with when it comes to the wrestling, wrestling mentality. I mean, I can only imagine, especially like we had mentioned before, before we got our conversation really going, I can only imagine, especially with how you even got into this in the first place, with what started as like just a fun trip for you and your girlfriend, snowballing into you being in this field right now, like legitimately or whatnot. Like, it must be kind of weird and surreal to think that like, hey, this is actually the reality that I got to that. Like, how did we get here?
Yes, and I think that that's one thing that you'll find talking to a lot of wrestlers is like a lot of people have that imposter syndrome of like it can happen so fast where it's like one day you are what do I want my name to be, and then the next day you're wrestling on IWTV.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
it can move fast.
Yeah, sometimes, and especially for you, because like I said, because like you had said or whatnot, this path for you started off whenever the like at least being in the words come back to me. I'm good. I got this. No, like you had said or whatnot, like what started off as, again, a good trip with your girlfriend or whatnot, like eventually snowballing into this or whatnot, hearing that, like, especially in the year and some change that you've really dedicated yourself to this path or whatnot. Cause you had said that it was like the December that the New Day broke up, which I believe was 2024, I think.
25. It was December 7th, 2025.
You realize
or no, it was 20. It was 2024 because that January was after.
Yeah.
Did I start in 2024?
Yeah, you started in 2024, I guess.
December 7th, 2024. Yes.
Yeah, because I was going to say,
when I walked in.
Because keep in mind, we're in 2026 right now. December 2025, New Day had been heel for a good hot second. All right.
Yeah. Damn. I'm all for that. Time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. No, I mean, that's the thing that I bet even surprised you just even mentioned. The fact that you've been doing this for about like a year and some change or whatnot. Like, I can only imagine how weird the experience has kind of been for you. Like, I want to take you back at least to like when you first started at doing this kind of stuff. Like, what was the process like for you getting into this field in the first place? Because not everyone thinks it, like, I assume people watching wrestling, some of them might think I can easily do that. It's another thing to take that next step and actually go forth and do it. So what was the process like for you starting out?
Okay, so I was that guy. I was that guy on the couch going, bro, I can do that. Come on. What are you guys are bungling everything.
Look,
yeah.
As a wrestling fan myself, I think I could do that, but I also think to myself, that's got a lot of work and a lot of training I'm going to have to put into that. I'm fine watching.
But no, I will say like going in and the first time that you take that bump, because one of the things that I think you'll hear a lot of wrestlers say is it's about building a callus. It's about like your body getting used to taking the hits.
Right.
That first one sucks.
Of course.
And it was one of those things where it was like it was almost like eating a spicy food for the first time, where you were like, whoa, oh, that's kind of fun. I like that.
Yeah.
And then you go in and you try and do the shoulder roll and I thought, easy. I'm gonna stay right in my line. I went straight the other way. Yeah, no, like it's not as easy as you think. Like there's so much of learning to control. Every little movement requires you to learn to control the momentum of your entire body.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, again, it looks easy, but there's so much control. There's so much coordination, especially considering the fact that you're working with someone else in a very usually confined space. So obviously you can go outside if given, the circumstance or whatnot. But even then, like, there is so much that I don't think a lot of the average person thinks about that goes into wrestling and that mentality. I imagine for you, like, again, watching it is one thing, actually being in that ring, doing that kind of stuff. Again, hearing how you were supposed to go one way and you dove the other way, or you were going a complete different direction or whatnot. Like, that was a bit of a wake up call. I was like, oh, this is legit. Okay, I need to take this a little bit more seriously. All right, let's do this. Let's go.
Right. And it wasn't, I don't know if it was necessarily take it more seriously so much as I need to hone in myself.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, at the time, I now I'm close to about 160, 165 pounds.
Okay.
At the time, I was a little bit closer to 200, and I had very much so. So, back to my backstory a little bit.
Yeah.
Growing up, I did not have a great connection with my family. I'm a bit of a runaway.
That's fair.
Separated from all of them, but I did reconnect with my grandparents right before COVID.
Okay.
And that's when I found out that I was like, oh, hey, by the way, you have this lineage to Annie Oakley.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to find out. And then, unfortunately, my grandparents passed in 2021, right around the time that Will Wood album that we talked about had come out.
Yeah.
And that was
In case I make it.
Yes, in case I make it. Yep. And yeah, that album absolutely helped me get through their passing. But I was sad for a bit. Like that hits, you know, it's hard reconnecting just to lose someone.
Mm-hmm. If I
and
may, I was gonna say if I may.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was saying if I may for a second, I had a somewhat similar situation as well. Like around about a year or so before like COVID really was a thing or whatnot, my grandpa, he moved down from, we're originally from Illinois, and my dad had to move, you know, south for a reason. Well, my grandpa was getting to a point where it was hard for him to kind of to live on his own or whatnot. So he had moved down, and there was a good solid like 6 months or so to where like we were able to like reconnect and like, you know, really get to know each other a lot better than we had in the previous 20 some odd years that I have been alive, because of the natural, separation of being in a completely different state, you know, more than anything else. And then unfortunately, you know, COVID was more or less legitimately the death nail in his coffin before, you know, he passed away February 2021. So like I get that kind of mentality of like, you know, it sucks that they went, but also like it was good for you to be able to reconnect with them even just for a little bit and you know, make up for a little bit of lost time.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, that's part of it now is like I feel like part of it is I get to carry them on with me by taking that piece of history that they gave me and pushing it forward, you know.
No, absolutely. That was something that I was definitely going to bring up a little bit, just kind of the Annie Oakley heritage more than anything else. Cause it seems kind of like out of the blue, like out of nowhere, just all of a sudden this random person is claiming to be the great nephew of Annie Oakley or whatnot. But no, that's a legitimate thing for you, isn't it?
That is, yeah. So if you look back into it, my growing up, their shoot name, as we would call it in wrestling, is Moses. So it was Phoebe Ann Moses was Annie Oakley's shoot name.
Oh, okay.
And that's my grandmother's maiden name is Moses. So that's how we had initially figured it out. And then taking the ancestry tests and all of that, traced it all the way back to her and figured out like, oh, we actually have this history of being a stage family, you know?
Okay. So it's not just a gimmick they just said, hey, there's this random thing I could take advantage of. No, this is legit history for you that you're really putting forth. It's another thing to find that out, but it's another thing to actually like really embrace it and make it a part of yourself. What was it about, like, again, this unique little fact about your family that made you want to like take it and put it into like your storytelling, telling the world about yourself, like using it as a potential to let people know, hey, I have some history of being the real deal.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously there's some tie over between the stage aspect, like I said, of her being a circus performer, a carny, and wrestlers have throughout history been compared to or related to carnies.
Absolutely.
So it just felt like it felt like a really wonderful path to be able to take take her legacy and honor it, but also push it forward in my own way, because it is kind of hard being a male and knowing what she represented to females. Like I'm never going to be able to imitate or compare to that. So I have to find my own route and push it forward in my own way and say, you know, like, yes, this is my heritage, but this is also my time.
Exactly. It's one thing. I mean, as someone that is a fan of the wrestling business, you know that nepotism goes very far, but also like, right. but also there's only so far you can take it for someone that was at least very detrimental when it comes to like women's rights and like how they represent themselves in society or whatnot. Meanwhile, for you, it's well, part of it is obviously the stage aspect. Like, hey, this is this very prominent person or whatnot. It's a way for you to be like, yeah, this is what she did. Check out what I can do, because I think I'm a really incredible, talented person and I can stand on my own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel like that's a really good way for me to include her legacy without impeding it. And that is an important thing, is I would never want to detract from what she did for anyone, like for the
Absolutely.
world.
No, absolutely. That trust me, I don't think anyone is going to be looking at that and be like, he's just trying to desecrate the name of Annie Oakley. No, you're doing anything but at this point. Like, you're using it again.
We'll see. I can be a pretty vicious heel.
True. I'll give you that one, but also, like, you're using it as a sense of pride, not as more than anything else. Like, you're using it as like, again, this is my history. Well, I'm here to make the next step in history, the next chapter in the history and the legacy that is the Oakley family, more than anything else.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and I feel like there's this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because I was just going to move on to the next question.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's this really wonderful story of it being almost I think a little over 100 years to the date of her last performance to
Right.
my first one. So it's just this really round circle moment of saying, like, you know what, we fell into nothingness, but I can be the one to pull us back.
If only the New Day had broken up a few years earlier, we would have already jump started.
I know, right? I would be huge.
This wouldn't be for Amateur April. This would be, I don't know, like me planning for like SummerSlam weekend when you're about to wrestle, someone for the Major League Wrestling title or something like that, something big like that.
Dream, right?
That is the dream. But I mean, I'm glad to hear that that's at least the dream at this point. Because again, like you said, you're basically still in your rookie year at this point, which is the thing that I find very interesting more than anything else, especially with kind of the way you present yourself. Like, I can already tell from what little bits is out there or whatnot that you've already got a good like sense of confidence in who you are as a person more than anything else. I mean, obviously the Annie Oakley thing is a nice little step in the right direction as well, but also like seeing how much you embrace also the aesthetic of like that classic day, especially nowadays, really going to the gothic cowboy mentality, which I just love more than anything else. I love that mentality. What is it about, like, what does it mean to be the gothic cowboy, to be part of the gothic Western circus for you? And why did you want to incorporate that into how you wanted to present yourself as a wrestler?
Well, like I said, so a lot of it is the relation between wrestlers and carnies throughout the year, and then having that history, and then the man that very much so I consider to be my adopted father at this point, in Dexter DeVille.
Okay.
Wonderful manager, wonderful wrestler. The guy's freaking awesome, and he will put me over every time, so I'm always going to shout him out.
There you go.
But he's also a trained carny, so I was able to learn a lot from him, as far as the performing aspect, the speaking aspect, the feeling that confidence in things. And a lot of it is like, I mean, like the cool thing about the indies is you can test out different gimmicks in different places.
Oh yeah.
So there are certain like I don't know. The Gothic Cowboy is fun because I get to wear the hat, and I get to come out and really feel like Annie Oakley's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, there's a lot of Western gimmicks. There's a lot of top guys that are doing Western gimmicks.
True.
So it is kind of I'm trying to separate and test out some other stuff. That's why we have like the Striking Sun of Las Vegas, or the Neon Supernova.
The Neon Supernova was another one that I noticed that I wanted to talk about as well, because that just seems like a fun way to kind of put yourself out there at the end of the day.
Absolutely, yeah, no, and I've been having fun. I think one thing that a lot of like young wrestlers can learn from is LFG. If you watched the WWE show that they put out,
right?
It's very reality television, but there is a lot of like amazing knowledge that Undertaker and all the other legends put out there.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things that they focus on in the first season was having a moniker and really like letting that push you forward, bring you up and bring you out. And that's why, it's like everybody wants to be a superstar. I have so much bigger goals than that, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't want to be a superstar. I want to be what happens when a superstar explodes.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
am the Neon Supernova.
There you go. That's a good mentality to have at the end of the day. I mean, I appreciate you referencing, obviously, that, like, yeah, you can learn a thing or two when it comes to those wrestlers. I mean, when you have, like, basically 100+ years combined experience in the wrestling business, you're gonna learn a thing or two from incredible legends like Undertaker, Bubba Ray Dudley, guys like them or whatnot. So like having the opportunity to really take that, especially I love that thought or whatnot. I don't think anyone's ever really thought about it like that. Like you said, everyone wants to be a superstar. That's kind of their mentality whenever they first step into the square circle and want to get themselves out there. They want to be a superstar. you want to be beyond that. You want to be something more. You want to see what happens when that star really shines the brightest when it's exploding or whatnot. So the neon supernova, I see where you're thinking. I see where you're getting at.
Heck yeah, man. No, and like I said, it's been an absolutely fun time, and that's one of the cool things that I think I've found is a lot more indie venues than you would think have like neon lighting directly above the venue. I mean, I can think of multiple right around the Seattle, Washington area that, it's all like neon stuff. So that was like, I felt like that would be a really cool way to incorporate what you see around my natural area.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, for goodness sakes, you bill yourself from coming from Las Vegas, Nevada more than anything else. That's like the neon empire at the end of the day. Like, let's be honest with ourselves here.
That's home.
Exactly. Which, speaking of, I bet it must be kind of a weird coincidence to think that, like, again, right around the time we're recording this episode or whatnot, hey, WrestleMania is coming to Vegas like this upcoming weekend more than anything else. That's got to be weird to even think about.
I know, it was the same thing last year, man, where it was like, I remember my girlfriend and I were house sitting for her uncle, and we're sitting there watching WrestleMania, and I was like, man, I could be watching this on the Strip right now. I'm like, we could be right down there. I'm like, why did I move up here? But no, again, if I didn't, I wouldn't be a wrestler now.
Yeah. You know? I can only imagine, like, because obviously Vegas is one thing or whatnot, but especially with the opportunities you've been able to have ever since you based yourself around the Pacific Northwest area more than anything else. Like, it's been really cool to see kind of the opportunities you've been able to get here and there and such as, for example, like you had mentioned earlier, Grit City Wrestling, that being like your stomping ground, the place that even got you your start in the first place.
Oh yeah, that is home. That's where we train.
No, absolutely. Like, I can only imagine, like, how much of a fun experience is it for you? Like, again, training is one thing, but now you're getting to the point to where, again, you've been training for a while now and you're getting your name out there. You're actually able to have some matches, put yourself out there. Like, is it what you kind of imagine or what you kind of hope for whenever you start going down this path after seeing the New Day have one of the most emotional segments in WWE TV history?
Oh yeah, I would say it's exactly what I hoped it would be. I mean, like, there is nothing more fun than the moment before the walkout.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, like, there's always that 10 to 15 seconds where your music hits and you just get to sit there and feel it, you know? And yeah, that feeling never gets old. And and I don't think it ever will.
No, absolutely.
It was the same way. It was the same way coming out for choir concerts when I was a kid. Like, there's just, I know it's a silly comparison, but there's just something so wonderful about like getting to perform and getting to show the work that you've put in, because like, I love this, man. Like my girlfriend goes to work most days and comes home and I'm watching like hour number 6 of Ring of Honor highlights and just Ring of Honor matches from like 2006. And I'm like, hey, I have like 60 different like submission things that we have to try because there's no class tonight and I don't have anyone to do it on. And you know, like, it's, I don't think that I've ever worked for something. I'm getting a little emotional. Like, I'm tearing up. I don't think that I've ever worked for something so hard. I put my whole heart and soul into this.
Right.
And that's because I'm not a good artist on paper. I'm not. I can't draw. I can't write anything that I'm proud of. But when I get out there and I perform, that's my art. That's my way of honoring God. That's my way of honoring the audience. That's my way of like showing me. That's my way of like being okay all the time.
No, I completely understand. Sorry. No. This is the perfect moment for you to get emotional. This is a safe space here. All right. More than anything else.
Right.
And like, especially again, like for you, like, it's not like you didn't have this kind of love for arts in the first place. Again, like looking around your room, just in general, whatnot, like a love for art has always been there. It's just been hard for you to really get the skills that you felt like could best express yourself. And I feel like wrestling has been that, like, the best outlet so far, because it's been a way for you to be able to tell stories like you've always wanted to, be able to really showcase who you truly are to an audience like you've always wanted to. I mean, I know you said it was silly to think about the choir comparison or whatnot, but I mean, like, it's that kind of like performative mentality, but also like that way of you to be able to express yourself like you never had before, and then get that instant like relief and gratification, just thinking like, I did this. I was able to go out there and do this. Like, this is the reality at the end of the day. The fact that it was the same then to what it is now, you have that same love and excitement at the end of the day. Like, that's what it's all about. That's what this whole entire thing is.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's like, I mean, that's the most beautiful thing is for as many times as like I'll get to over the next year, go out and like do a match and then send it to my coach and be like, hey, what can I work on? What can I do better? Like, this is just the start.
Exactly.
I like the only direction is up from here. And that's the beauty of it is like, I'll never stop working like this. I don't want to because this is like, if I keep doing what I'm doing now, there's a chance that I can make this my whole life.
Yeah, there
And
really
that's
is.
all that I want to do.
Yeah, especially with the way you had, like, the mentality you seem to have going into this and the way you've been able to kind of express yourself. Like, I think you can fully agree with me when I say there are some people to where when, and this is no disrespect, obviously, to any of the wrestlers out there or whatnot, but there are some people that still struggle to figure out like how they want to present themselves when it comes to a wrestling ring or whatnot. Like they come out there and it's like they have an idea, but they don't know how to really like translate that onto like, you know, the canvas or like the squared circle or whatnot. But like the fact that you already have like a good mentality of like how you want to present yourself, how you want to go out there, like whether it be something as, you know, bright and vibrant as the neon supernova, whether it be this incredible, you know, gothic cowboy mentality, whether it be the island crabs or whatnot, like the version that with you and your tag team partner or whatnot, like which. I gotta talk about that for a second there. What exactly do you mean by island crabs or whatnot when it comes to like how you present yourself with this tag team? Because this just sounds like a fun little side puzzle more than anything else.
Oh no, dude, it's amazing. Grayson is a guy that started around the same time that I did.
Okay.
So we came up training together. We have really great chemistry and rapport in the ring. So I couldn't have been more happy to get paired with him.
Mm-hmm.
But because so SOS, the whole gimmick of the show is that it takes place on an island.
Right.
And the cool thing about that is, you know, you get these opportunities where it's like, what can we do that's just over the top and silly? Like, how can we make everyone laugh? Because at the end of the day, it's you know, that's the idea is to get the crowd going, is to get them feeling something. And if I can make them feel good, I'm happy.
Right.
So, you know, we'd pitched a lot of ideas about the best thing that we could do, and my coach just sat forward and goes, "What do you guys think about what do you guys think about being crabs?" And we were like, "Crabs?" And he was like, "Yeah, like what do you like? We're on an island, you're crabs." And I was like, "Fuck yes!" Like that's awesome. Like that's so silly, but it's so awesome.
Right.
So we have these wonderful, like we wear red tights. My girlfriend does all of our makeup.
Nice.
And yeah, no, it's been a wonderful time. We've got to basically, so back to the Christopher Daniels seminar that we talked about a little bit ago.
Right.
I got to talk to him a little bit, and he had said something where he had compared it a little bit to how he had done Curryman.
Right.
Because he was saying when he was over in Japan, Curryman was just Christopher Daniels in the mask. Like he did all of his own stuff. But when he brought it over to TNA, they said, "Hey, you need a whole new moveset for this guy. Like people can't know it's you." Right. So I basically he said take it that direction. Like do a whole new moveset, make everything ocean themed, like just throw your heart and soul into this character and have fun with it.
Right.
And that's what we've been doing. It's been such a silly time, such a wonderful time. Like we just made our debut. I'm hoping that we're going to be on the April 10th show because we got Evil Uno is going to be making an appearance for that one. It's going to be such a great time. But yeah, no, we got the shit kicked out of us by Run the Beach. Carl Randers and Troy Maddock are two bad motherfuckers, and they are heels. They are big and they are strong. I'm pretty sure Carl Randers did commentary while we got beat up by one guy. It was really embarrassing. But I don't feel too bad because Troy Maddock's a beast, dude. Yeah. I mean, like that guy is a monster.
I mean, hey, look, I'm sure you could probably attest to this as someone that works with cooking or whatnot. When someone is really craving crab, you're not going to stop them from getting crab, all right? If they're hungry, they're going to want to eat, all right?
They will get to the meat. That's right.
Exactly. And I mean, if nothing else, like obviously it's one thing to say, oh yeah, we were destroyed. Like but from the sound of it, it sounded like you still had a fun time. I mean, for goodness sakes, you're out there performing as humanized crabs or whatnot. Like how can you not at least have a good laugh and think about just the ridiculous way that you're putting out there? Like that's the whole entire performative aspect when it comes to wrestling. Like you're having fun being silly. Why not just, lean into the silliness at the end of the day?
Absolutely, yeah. No, and it was such a good learning experience too because there's so many different aspects of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have guys like Bray Wyatt, who I absolutely idolized,
Oh,
but I'm not a
absolutely.
horror buff. Like I've never been into horror movies. I've never scary things don't appeal to me.
Exactly.
Bray Wyatt for some reason did because
Yes.
he translated it to wrestling in a way that told a story that I loved. I don't know that I could ever do scary wrestling the way that he does, you
Right.
know? But in the same manner, I love R-Truth, and he's one of the best comedic wrestlers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, so if I can go out there and get my ass kicked, but everybody's laughing and having a good time, it's still a wonderful experience for me because I know that they enjoyed themselves and I got to learn something at the very least. I may not have got a win.
Right.
I may have gotten I may have been a crab that got tapped out in an octopus submission. Um, which is embarrassing to say the least now that I think about it. I was a crab that got taken down by an octopus. I feel like
I feel
I
like
feel
that's
like I should have.
I feel like that might be natural in nature though. Like I don't know the dichotomy when it comes to crabs versus octopuses, but I feel like if the octopus had the opportunity to like know what they were up against, they might be able to declaw the crab if they're strong enough.
I can tell you from experience they do. Oh, Shiza.
Well, look, I just gotta say I admire your dedication to the craft.
Hey man, this is what we do, right? The
Yeah.
goal is to make people happy.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I can only imagine that, like we've emphasized over and over again, like the fact that you're already getting this kind of rush and experience with someone that's only doing this for a little more than a year at this point, and really like getting the chance to get out there so
Well,
late.
and that's just training too. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as matches, I've had CPW on March 1st and March 20th at SOS. So I mean, like this is I've only had two actual like in front of a live audience match.
Oh wow. I mean, I figured you had a few more, at least when it comes to like the student seminar thing or whatnot. But like even then, like do you consider like matches on a show or whatnot? The fact that you've only had that like two or whatnot, I would have assumed it was a little bit more. Wow, I really hit the gold mine before you really got a chance to really get your name out there.
No, that's why I keep saying, man, like I'm honored to be here. This is a huge opportunity for me to like, say something, get my name out, and that's why I can't thank you enough for having me
Oh,
here.
dude, no, trust me. It is an honor and pleasure on my end that you would even want to take the time to do this. Because I imagine there are people that probably get like a random message from people and be like, "Who the heck? Why does this random person want to even talk to me? What's going on here?"
I won't lie, that was my first thought. I was like, who am I to want to talk to want someone to I don't know how to make words.
No,
Who am
that's
I
fair.
for someone to want to talk to me? But at the same time, man, like it's like I said, this is the other half of the business is
Yeah.
I would never pass up an opportunity like this in the same way that I wouldn't pass up the opportunity I was given on March 1st at CPW. It was my first match ever. I went to celebrate and help do ring setup because my one of my best friends in the business, Eli Ford,
Yeah.
same thing. He started training a few months before I did,
Okay.
and I feel like we've really started to come up together. Like that's my guy. Uh, he got his debut match on the first, and I went to go
Okay.
do ring setup. Someone had called out, and Marcus Erics, a guy that was trained by Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall down in Georgia,
Okay.
really wonderful guy. His hair is so cool. He spikes it up in like a bunch
Oh,
of separate. It's really awesome.
peak.
Yes, it's peak.
Well, actually, it'd be several peaks
I
because it
like what
spiked
you.
up. Yeah.
It's peaks,
There you go.
peaks plural.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, he approached me. He was like, "Hey man, do you have your gear? I need a wrestler." And it was a really amazing. I got to go wrestle CJ Edwards at CPW, the flyweight champion. That guy is a beast.
Yep.
I feel like I might have won if he didn't kick me right in my hoo ha.
If he didn't do some underhanded tactics, I feel like you had a much stronger chance. Though healer's gonna
See what you did there.
heal's gonna heal.
Right. No, yeah, it was still like I said, even in losing, it's an amazing opportunity to share the ring with somebody who has as much experience as CJ Edwards.
Right.
Uh Even if he did, feel the need to use, like you said, underhanded tactics to beat me.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot while I was in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I could just push him around and shove him, but the guy has such good control of his momentum that he just swing me to the side. I mean, you can see it in the match. I just fly over, and it's one of those things that you can only get with years of experience.
Exactly. And I mean, the fact that, again, like, you can only get that from years of experience. You're in the middle of you hopefully getting that years of experience or whatnot. But the thing,
Right, right.
but to think that, like, again, you've been training for about a little more than a year now, and you're finally getting the opportunity to get your name out there and finally have some matches, really showcase to the people, like, hey, this is what all my hard work and determination has been set for more than anything else. Like, it's gotta be weird. I said this earlier, but it's gotta be weird and surreal that, like, this is where you are right now. Like, this is your life. You get a chance to really put forth that love that you've always had and showcase it to that crowd and let the people know, like, hey, this is who I am.
Absolutely, yeah. No, and it's one of those things where it's like it's really cool because I thought early on that there would be more of a balance between it's like how do you get booked? Like, are you trying to please the fans or please the bookers? And then it's like, oh, it's one and the same. It's
Yep.
all one and the same. As long as, show up, work hard, set up, it's all the little things that people tell you that everyone takes notice of. You know what I mean? It's the guy that shows up first,
Mm-hmm.
that's always setting up the ring, that's never leaving until everything's done. That's the guy that's going to get the job. So that's who I try to be, is, put as much as I can into the business, and it will take care of you.
Yeah. First one in, last one out. That kind of mentality at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, and
Go on.
that's one of the sorry, I'll say that's one of the things that I feel like, every coach worth their salt, regardless of where we are in the country, regardless of where you might start training, if you can find a school near you or anything like that, every coach worth their salt will see dedication over talent.
Exactly.
Because like I said, I mean, when I first started, I'm sure I looked like shit. Uh, but it's one of those things where it's like if you keep working at anything, you'll find it.
Absolutely. And I mean, again, it's clear at this point that you've definitely put in the hard work and effort and dedication to get to this point. So congratulations. You've finally been able to break in your boots a little bit and actually get into the wrestling ring.
Thank you.
Now we got to ask the question of what's potentially next, or at least what you hope is next. What is the hope, especially as you keep going down this wrestling path? Like, what do you want to see come from this more than anything else? Because again, it's one thing to get involved. It's another thing to actually get your name out there and to be in that ring. But now comes the more interesting part, the part where you're wondering what's going to be next, what's going to be the next appearance, what's going to be the next way I could get my name out there. So what is next for Chance Oakley?
Well, like I said, we have potentially the Island Crabs on SOS Edson Square at April 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Grit City is doing a free show. I will be on that, so that'll be Edson Square as well, April 11th. And then Dragonplex is doing their student show on the 12th. And then CPW will also be hosting a show on the 12th. So I'll be at all four of those. On top of that, it's really just going to be continuing to work locally, get my name out there as a hard worker, both in and out of the ring. Long-term goals, I would really love to get to travel a little bit with this. I have obviously with Annie Oakley, I have deep connections to the state of Ohio.
Right.
I know they have a wonderful wrestling scene, so I'd love to get the opportunity to go meet them sometime, potentially rest there. Even farther down the line than that, my big goal in wrestling, I would love to get to wrestle in Japan.
There you go.
Like I said, my thing growing up was always New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh,
I loved watching Bullet Club. So that was another cool thing. As while I was leaving the Christopher Daniels seminar, I ran into Luke Gallows, which was freaking amazing.
Oh, okay.
That dude is a skyscraper. I'm 5'4". Okay, I'm gonna be 100% real with you. I'm 5'4". That dude is the Empire State Building to me.
I'll say, look, for comparison, I'm 6'2", so I'm pretty tall, and that man still towers over me because I've had a chance to see him in person.
Big dude.
Yeah,
I think his goatee was as long as I am tall.
I was gonna say at the very least, I was gonna say at the very least, I feel like his goatee is as long as your hair on the top of your head, more than anything else.
Oh, much longer at this point. It's like down.
Yeah,
it's bad. Like, not bad, but like it's long. It's really long. Luke Gallows, please don't beat me up. I really love you. You're awesome.
I was gonna say if you're not careful, he's gonna use that thing like Bianca Belair uses her hair and just freaking whack you with it.
Bro, that's not a bad. I'm gonna pitch that to him if I ever get to see him again. I'm gonna be like, hey, so we have an idea.
I'm sure I'm not the first one, but if I am, I will take all credit for it.
100% credit will be going to you.
Not fair enough. Oh goodness, no. I mean, like it. I mean, especially in today's modern wrestling scene or whatnot, like going to Japan just seems like the dream, especially given like the history that Japan has in like the wrestling scene at the end of the day. I mean, I had a former guest of the podcast, one half of the Creeps, Irving West. He sometime, I think it was like last year, I think he took a trip over to Japan or whatnot, and seeing kind of like his trip going over there and some of the incredible stuff that he'd been able to, the incredible opportunities that he was able to have or whatnot. Like, yeah, I can understand why for someone like you, especially again, just starting out in this scene and really getting like your footing more than anything else, that's an ultimate dream to be able to travel over there and entertain the masses and you know, in a completely different, literal foreign land.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, I mean, just short term, I mean, I'm always available for bookings. Anyone is welcome to message me on Instagram, email me at chanceoakley8.com or gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Please let me know if you ever need a wrestler on a show.
Especially if you're around the Pacific Northwest area. I'm sure Chance would love the opportunity to you know, drive around and show y'all exactly what it means to be a member of the Oakley family at the end of the day.
That's right. The Oakley family is back on stage and we're taking it by storm.
Please, and I feel like this is probably a little too obvious, but please tell me you've been able to incorporate a sharpshooter into you know, your wrestling moves or whatnot. Yeah. Like I feel like especially if you're taking up the Annie Oakley name or whatnot, you can't not have a sharpshooter, you know?
Are you kidding me, man? I come from a long line of shooters.
Exactly. There we go. He gets it.
But like I said, I spent a lot of time training in Vegas doing MMA stuff under Vinny Magalhaes. So submissions are a massive part of my offense. I love throwing that. One of my favorite things that I've been able to finish a lot of student show matches and stuff like that with is a lot of strikes and stuff. So I'm working on integrating my submissions back in and taking what I know and making that a part of myself as a wrestler, you know?
Okay. No, I absolutely. I can only imagine, especially with, again, the history that you have with that. I mean, for anyone that's watched wrestling or whatnot, they know how much of a literal stranglehold holds can have when it comes to a wrestling match at the end of the day.
It can completely change the momentum of your match, and you know that's what I do. You know, if you don't want to take a chance, right? So you go with the safest bet in wrestling, and that is Chance.
Yep. So basically, put all your chips down on Chance if you can.
That's right. That's right.
I have to ask this as well, but like, you know, we've been talking a lot about what you are getting the chance to do, and again, even though it's just started for you, like it already feels like a lifetime that you've been able to do this kind of thing. So I'm curious, like even taking a step back, thinking again to like just the entirety of your love for art in the first place, like starting back to whenever you were watching again anime or the classic wrestling and such, and like getting the chance to fall in love with that, to here you are right now, getting the chance to really showcase that art form that you've wanted to express in one form or fashion. Thinking to your art journey as a whole, does it more or less impress you how far you've been able to develop as an artist?
Absolutely, it does. I've never necessarily seen myself as someone who was, like we've talked about, talented in other areas when it comes to art.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I finally found a canvas where I'm comfortable.
Yeah. It's an amazing canvas you've been able to really put out there, more or less. So I can only imagine, again, with this only being like the first couple of steps, what could potentially be the incredible legacy of Chance Oakley if given the opportunity.
Yeah, hopefully the sky's the limit. Hopefully.
Well, if I may then, for this next question, what if we make the sky not even the limit, but more or less the baseline? Let's go above and beyond, if I may, because Chance, I want to give you more or less the dream scenario, if I may.
Okay.
Let's say I am big shot Mr. Moneybags. I come up to you and I'm like, look, Chance, we've been able to get some insight on what you got going on. We know there's something incredible here. You just need a little chance to really, a little extra platform, a little extra boost to get you to that point where you really want to be. We have access to everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than there should be possible. We probably should be giving back to certain wrestlers and certain people in the industry, make sure that they can be able to, have health insurance and all that kind of stuff because of the risk that they take stepping in that ring every single time. But we'll focus on them later. We promise. We promise that you have our word. That will be part of it. But right now we want to focus on you and you alone. What would be the dream Chance Oakley project, or subsequently, what would be the dream Chance Oakley match?
I think the dream project would pay off in the dream match.
Okay.
And that would be very much so. Like, I think I would love to get tutelage and then have it pay off in a match against Jon Moxley.
Oh,
I think and then having a match with him at the end of everything would be like my ultimate dream.
No, that's a good pick, especially seeing like the you want to talk about someone that's had a second in the industry more than anything else, and seeing kind of the path that he's been on. Just even talking to him, I feel like you'd learn a lot when it comes to the wrestling industry at the end of the day.
The amount of knowledge that man has, I will only hope to acquire.
And then on top of that, to try to have a match with that man, I hope you have like an ambulance close by, because that match is going to be pretty bloody for the better. Obviously, it's going to be for good storytelling at the end of the day. But you were talking about having concussions earlier. I want to know what it'd be like whenever you have like skewers in your head or whatnot if you're not careful.
Hey, you know what? If anyone can push me to that limit, it's Mox, right?
There you go. That's a good mentality to have at the end of the day. But sadly, we do got to get down from the dream scenario. We have to get back to reality. And I'll ask the ever so generic question. Where do you hope to see yourself, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
Within 5-10 years, I would really hope to be able to travel wrestling. That's the end goal for me is really, I want this to be a method to share my stories with my country and my world, like getting to go out and meet people that I've met through wrestling, like you, getting to perform in front of you, getting to perform in front of my friends in Ohio or Florida, or, that's my end goal is where I want to be, and where I see myself is sharing my stories with the people that I care about and making new people to care about so I can share my stories with them.
I think that is a wonderful mentality to have at the end of the day, just having the opportunity to just travel and do more and connect more, especially in this very unique field of art that we both are huge fans of at the end of the day.
Because it is a beautiful sport, man.
It's a fantastic one. It is an amazing one. It's not like that fake sport like football,
Oh, yeah, dude. I can't deal with that scripted NBA stuff.
Right. Oh, God. Don't even get me started on Major League Baseball. As we start to wind down the interview, I just got one last question I want to ask you. Obviously, you are deeply entrenched in art at this point. There's nothing that's going to take you out of this field in one form or fashion, whether it be the wrestling aspect or obviously the other ways you enjoy art. Again, I'm looking at your wall. It's a fantastic wall. There's a reason why I pointed it out.
Thank you.
How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
Art is expression, man. Art is people. Without art, we don't have individuality. You have to have it. There's no other way around it. You have to have art.
Short, sweet, simple. I love it. I think that is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself.
Thank you, sir. Chance,
that's all the questions I have for you today. I've already showered you with Lord knows how much praise at this point, but I'm going to shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want. No, like I said, whenever we were getting ready for this kind of stuff, like, you're someone that I just came across in my feed as I was trying to like get that like wrestling name out there. I've always had a love when it comes to independent wrestling and indie wrestling. I've always wanted to showcase that love at the end of the day, and to get a chance to find you among there, especially with such a unique aesthetic that you have going forth for yourself, whether it be the neon supernova, the striking sun of fabulous Las Vegas, whether it be the cowboy Casanova that your girlfriend sings about in the shower, whether it be the person that is going to be leading the charge on bringing the Oakley name to a new generation of people out there and whatnot. Like, that aesthetic, the way you carried yourself is what already intrigued me, and I could not help but love it the instant I got a chance to see it. But to get a chance to sit down with you right now and to hear more about how much of a love that you have for this, how much this truly means to you, not just on a wrestling aspect, but kind of a love for art aspect at the end of the day. Like, whatever love and appreciation I have for you already, like it's through the roof. The roof is gone. I'm sorry, those neon lights that you love to see up there, they got shattered with the level of love and respect that I got for you at the end of the day. But regardless, like it just leaves me excited, especially knowing that you literally only scratched the surface with what you could potentially do. Like if this is just the first steps of what could potentially be an incredible wrestling career in one form or fashion, like I'm excited for what's next. I want to see you travel, you know, down to California or back to Vegas or whatnot, do stuff down there. I want to see you travel across the country to Ohio or Florida or Georgia and stuff, and you know, show your brand of, you know, incredible charisma all the way over there. I want to see you go over an ocean and perform for a literal foreign land to show people like, hey, I'm the real deal. Like bet on, you know, I am the safest bet. Like you said, put all your chips on me at the end of the day. I am excited for what's next. And that's why I wanted to get you on here, to let people hopefully see that excitement and share that same excitement for what's next. The long and the short of it is, Chance, thank you for what you do. Thank you for putting yourself out there like you have. And sincerely, I know I'm one of the few at this point, but I hope I am one of the many at another point that shares that love and support, and it's going to be by your side no matter what, rooting for you every single day. So thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Like, I mean, I can't tell you enough. You've made a fan of me out of your podcast. I hope I made a fan of you out of me as a wrestler.
Oh, dude. It was not that hard to get me to be a fan in the first place. I'll tell you that.
I am excited, man. Hopefully, like I said, somewhat long-term, somewhat short-term, but the goal, hopefully we'll be able to get out there and I'll be able to meet you in person, wrestle for you.
Yeah.
It'll be a great time.
One way or another, whether I come up to you know, the Pacific Northwest to see how you're doing or whatnot, or if you make your way over to Georgia, you better let me know.
Absolutely. You got it.
Absolutely. But if people want to see more about what you got going on and hopefully be a part of this brand new wrestling path as well, and show that love and support to you, go ahead and plug yourself for the people at home. Where can people find more about you and what you got going on?
Absolutely, yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at Chance Oakley. I'm on YouTube. I have a gaming channel under Chance Oakley, and then my matches are all under Chance Oakley Wrestling. All of those have the link to my Discord. You can hop on Twitch and find me also under Chance Oakley. I made it really easy.
Yep.
If you look up Chance Oakley and see a picture of me, follow that guy. He's pretty cool.
And if you guys, for some reason, are struggling with that, just go to the description of this video. I'll be sure to have all those links and then some in the description. I got you covered. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Do you have any final words before we sign off?
Man, I just can't thank you enough for having me on here. It was such a pleasant experience, and I'm very grateful that you got my first wrestling interview, man. Like this was... you'll always be the first guy that interviewed Chance Oakley.
There you go. Take that, Chris Van Vliet. No, I'm joking.
There we go. Take that, Chris Van Vliet. I'm gonna regret that. He's gonna clip this someday.
No, I'm gonna make sure that we have the context of, we both love Chris Van Vliet. Trust me, I love his podcast. I've tried reaching out to him to try to get him to come on this podcast. Hasn't worked, but I've at least tried. Okay.
Fingers crossed for you.
Fingers crossed, and fingers crossed for you that you get a chance to chat with him at one point, because you fucking deserve it.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
With that, all I have left to say is, for the people at home, if you can, please pay your artists.
Hell yeah.
Tell me what's wrong, tell me it's parts in motion. Sing me a song, tell me your eyes can't all open. Show me it all, pick me up in the car you drove when you used to call. Show me it all.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Like I said in the intro, Chance is someone that I could not believe just the aura that he already has with the limited experience that he has. Chance, if you've gotten up to this point, sincerely thank you for even taking the time to spend with me, and thank you for putting yourself out there like you have. You know, I always try to highlight wrestling when I can. It's an art form that I truly love and I cannot get enough of. Like, sincerely, it's so many different elements, so many different surprises and such that go into it when it comes to storytelling that is a lot harder to convey through some of the other mediums. Not saying that's impossible. Trust me. I mean, look at animation alone. Look at what you're capable with that one. But wrestling just hits different, figuratively and literally. I've been thinking about wrestling more in general. I think partially because, when this episode comes out, WrestleMania is this upcoming weekend. And also I've been getting a good friend or two into wrestling as well. Maybe not for the most artistic of reasons, but still the fact that they're interested is always something that surprises me more than anything else. And it's just, it's so fun. It really is at the end of the day. But also, when it comes to wrestling, it's also more of the community of it more than anything. I mean, legitimately, wrestling is what connected me to some of the people that I consider near and dear, like some of my best friends, some of my ride or dies. Wrestling was what was able to connect me with so many incredible people in the first place and grow the friend group and grow connections with other people that I might not have had otherwise. I know it can be decisive. I know people have their preferences. I know certain tactics and certain people that are involved in the business does not make it the best thing to root for, the easiest thing to really sell to people. But honestly, if you're even remotely curious when it comes to wrestling, take the chance. Find some people that love it. Ask them why they love it. Take the chance to watch a show, especially if it's an indie show. Sincerely, that is some of the best experience you could ever have when it comes to wrestling. Going to some local dive bar or some gym in the middle of nowhere and just seeing a bunch of dudes that have that same love, give it all out there like they're wrestling for 100,000 fans in the biggest stadium in every state. Wrestling is such an incredible art form. It's an incredible community developer at the end of the day. And I'm so glad that I've got the chance to see that both with the friends that I've been able to make, but also with the incredible people that are in it and are wrestling their asses off, putting themselves at risk, putting their bodies in Lord knows what kind of risk just to convey a fun story and to really connect with people like never before. It really hit me when Chance was talking about how wrestling was a way for him to express himself through art that he struggled in other forms of art. It just goes to show that, sometimes it's a little bit more than two sweaty men slapping each other, sweating like crazy. Though it's a good visual. Be honest with me, ladies. At the end of the day, wrestling is an incredible art form and is an incredible community developer, like I said before. And I sincerely hope that if you're not on board with wrestling, you will take the chance to give it a try. Get some people that know and love it and see through their eyes why it connects with them, why it reaches out to them. If nothing else, it just showcases the incredible beauty of art and how it can connect people at the end of the day.